Back already?
I'd better go.
Drop by again?
Oui?
Excusez-moi, mais êtes-vous Monsieur Traquenard?
Please, in English. I do not wish to hear my native tongue butchered while I eat. As for my name, not Traquenard. It is Jean-Michel Traquenard.
Jean-Michel Traquenard.
Traquenard! Traquenard!
Traquenard.
Enough! What can I do for you, mademoiselle?
Drew. Nancy Drew. I've just started working for Minette as an assistant.
Oh? What happened to Ezer?
Elzer?
Ezer Mickey.
Huh? Oh, Heather McKay. No, Heather still works for Minette. I'm kind of working for both of them.
Our Lady of the Mask has fired 3 assistants in the past 5 months. I hope you are not next. In fact, that Ezer has managed to avoid the axe for this long is truly remarkable.
Here, I'm supposed to give these photos to you. They came straight from Dieter von Schwesterkrank's darkroom. I printed them up myself.
You are quite doué as a photo developer. Bravo for you, Nancy Drew. Merci. I was afraid Ezer had forgotten. So, you had the pleasure of meeting Herr von Schwesterkrank, eh?
He seemed very nice.
Dieter is a very enterprising young man, which in most cases is good, but when arrogance enters the picture, pff. So, do you, like Ezer, hope to leave your mark on the world of couture?
I have no desire to design wild and crazy dresses, if that's what you mean.
Then you are an intelligent young lady, Nancy. In the world of couture, a single creation worn by someone famous to a high-profile event, such a dress can be worth a fortune in publicity, which makes it a desperately competitive world. A dog-eat-dog world. A world where bad things can and do happen to good people. You must order something. I insist. La carte, s'il vous plaît.
Oh, but I'm really not hungry.
Mademoiselle.
Thank you. I mean, merci.
Order anything you want. Everything here is superb. And Henri, he is the best waiter in all of France.
Well, in that case... I'll have the cannelle, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, mademoiselle.
Merci. Henri, ajoutez-le à mon édition, s'il vous plaît.
Certainement.
Chicken dumplings. You are going to love them.
Yes. You're right. The food here is good.
Excusez-moi, mademoiselle.
So, what else do you wish from me?
Do you have any idea why Minette wears that mask?
I believe she is the victim of botched plastic surgery.
Isn't Minette a little young to be undergoing plastic surgery?
Some women with noses that would put birds of prey to shame are perfectly content with their appearance, while others with acceptable features are convinced they are more hideous than Frankenstein. Self-image. It can make people do strange things.
If you had to name Minette's worst enemy, who would that be?
Ugo Batelli, without a doubt. Not only do he and Minette have similar design styles, so that they are constantly competing for the same couture clients, but both of them are unthinking, socially inept egoists. It is a rare week that goes by without one of them insulting the other.
Has it ever gone beyond words?
Not to my knowledge. You ask very curious questions, Mademoiselle Drew. They make me think you know more than you are saying. And as a member of the press, I'm not sure that I like that.
Do you have a real office somewhere?
When I'm writing my column, I go to my office at Glam Glam. When I'm researching my column, I come here. I have my telephone, which can do everything save sing the Marseillaise, good food, and a chair for whomever stops by.
How can I contact this Hugo Butterly person?
His phone number is right here in my digital assistant. Of course, it's extremely unlikely that you will be able to talk to him in person. Even I occasionally have trouble penetrating the wall of sycophants that surrounds him. So, what else do you wish from me?
We'll talk again later, okay?
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Come in, set your things down and come on over here. Hi, JJ Ling. I'd shake your hand, but I get flour all over you. Oh, and Heather called and told me about your luggage. No worries. I have plenty of clothes in every size imaginable. Your bedroom's down that hall. The airline lost my luggage once, told me it was gone for good and paid me $100. Then 5 years later, my suitcase shows up on my doorstep. And a bill for the $100 they'd paid me, plus interest.
Oh my gosh, really?
What? You don't believe me?
Actually, no.
Ooh, you're honest, you're smart. You and I are gonna get along great, Nancy Drew. You were right not to believe me. I made it up. See, to be a good model, you kind of have to be a good actress too. So sometimes I make things up, you know, just for practice. Just to see if I can get people to believe me.
Doesn't that make people kind of mad?
Some people, yeah. But I don't do it to be mean. And it's not like I'm hurting anybody. I'm just being creative. I've got some people convinced that I won the lottery and am actually a millionaire. It's kind of fun. You like chocolate chip cookies?
I love chocolate chip cookies.
So do I. And the nice thing is, I'm about 3 pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that I need to be for Minette. I have a very high metabolism. So, I make cookies, I eat cookies, and since you're here, I share cookies.
Why does Minette want you to be a size 12?
Contractually, I have to be a size 12. See, Minette is into curves, so she designs clothes for full-figured curvy women. Because I signed on to be a fitting model, I have to maintain the ideal size 12 weight and shape.
What's a fitting model?
A fitting model puts on samples from a designer's latest line, so the designer can create each piece on a real live person instead of a dress form. It's not very exciting. In fact, it's totally boring. Plus, you're always getting stabbed with pins. But it pays the bills.
Does anyone else live here?
Nope, it's just me. And you now. Managed to get a short-term lease. Soon as I'm done being Minette's fitting model, I am out of here.
Heather wants me to pick up an envelope from you.
Oh yeah, it's right over there. Heather needed a bunch of personal information so they can pay me, but I refused to give it out over the phone. I'm real paranoid about that sort of stuff. Don't ask me why, I just am. Go ahead and take it to her.
Can you think of anyone who might be out to get Minette?
Well, Dieter, obviously.
Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
He and Minette went out for about 6 months. Then all of a sudden, last April, Minette dumped him. Just tossed him aside like last month's edition of Vogue.
Do you know why she broke it off?
No idea. Although I suspect it has something to do with the fact that Dieter lets his pet boa constrictor run loose in that photographic studio of his.
He has a pet boa constrictor?
That's what I said. Don't you believe me?
Nice try, JJ.
This time I'm telling the truth. Dieter really does keep a snake in his studio. Hardly anybody knows about it. I think it may be illegal. If you happen to be in there, be careful.
I'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
Hello?
Bonjour.
Oh, Nancy! George, go get on the other line, quick. It's Nancy. And remember, talk fast. She's calling all the way from France. So where are you? What have you seen? How do you like Paris? What's Minette like? Have you learned how to design clothes?
Bess, slow down. You don't have to talk fast, okay? My dad bought me a phone card and told me to make as many calls as I want.
Oh, great. Hi, Nance. What's going on? How's Paris? Have you seen the Louvre? What about the Eiffel Tower? How many famous people have you met?
George, 3 words. Prepaid phone card.
Oh, great. Hey, perfect timing. We were just about to go for a run.
Whoa, wait a minute. A run?
Jog. I meant jog.
But you said run.
I meant jog.
You know how I feel about the R word, George.
Jog. We're going for a jog, Bess. Honest. So, Nance, tell us about Minette.
Well, she's very high-strung.
Why do you say that?
Well, the first time I walked into her office, I was almost decapitated by the potted plant she'd just thrown.
She threw a potted plant at you? Before she even knew you? That was rude.
Actually, she was throwing it at Heather, her assistant. Oh, and Bess, according to Minette, when something is cool, she says it's totally rude.
Rude. You know, that's got a ring to it. He is one rude dude. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna start saying that.
Someone has been sending Minette threatening letters.
You mean someone's been threatening her life?
Well, not in so many words. I've only seen one of the letters she's gotten, and it was just kind of vaguely threatening. The end is near, that sort of thing.
Do you think the threats are what's causing Minette to act so bizarrely?
Or is her bizarre behavior the reason why she's been getting threats?
Good questions, and there's only one way to answer them.
Find out who sent those letters.
Just be careful, Nancy, or you might start getting threatening letters.
Have you ever heard of a fashion photographer named Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
No, but I'll bet he's young, German, and cute.
Why do you say that?
Because I have a sixth sense about these things. Go ahead, Nancy. Describe him in all his luscious Teutonic detail.
Well, he's young, German, and cute.
See?
Why do you ask, Nan?
He's pretty sure that Minette's assistant Heather has a crush on him.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it's good for Dieter's ego, I'm sure, but if it's true, it's bad for Heather. He couldn't care less about her.
He'd better be careful, or her crush could turn into something a little less harmless.
I had to deliver some prints to this fashion editor named Jean-Michel Traquenard.
What's he like?
Bald, heavy-set, and approaching middle age.
That's right, Bess. How'd you know?
I told you, I have a sixth sense about these things.
More likely it has something to do with all those fashion magazines you're constantly reading.
I hardly ever read fashion magazines.
Do you ever read Glam Glam?
Ooh, I love Glam Glam.
Well, that's the one he writes for.
See? You probably saw his picture in there once and filed it away in your subconscious.
Oh. How come my subconscious never seems to file away anything practical?
Anyway, when it comes to the Paris fashion scene, this Traquenard guy pretty much knows everything and everyone.
So he's pretty helpful?
Mostly he's pretty arrogant.
Well, anybody who does business out of a cafe can't be all bad.
He does business out of a cafe?
Yeah, Nancy just said that, didn't you?
No.
Your subconscious strikes again.
Dang, am I good or what?
It seems that Minette's biggest rival is a fashion designer named Hugo Butterly.
You think he's the one who's been sending Minette those threats?
I think it's possible.
I love his stuff. I can't afford it, of course, but I tried a Butterly on once, and I gotta tell you guys, I look très gorgeous.
You should see how cool, calm, and collected Minette's assistant Heather is, even when Minette is totally wigging out.
I don't get it. I mean, how could anyone work for a woman who goes around wearing a mask all the time?
Despite the way Minette treats her, Heather seems almost protective of her.
Stockholm Syndrome.
What?
The Stockholm Syndrome.
It's when a person who's being held hostage starts to sympathize with his or her captor. I learned that in basic psych.
How come you remember stuff like that and I don't?
Probably because you didn't take basic psych.
Oh, right!
That's it for now.
Bye-bye.
Soyez prudent.
What's up?
Do you work for Minette because you want to be a fashion designer too?
Well, I studied at Rhode Island School of Design and Central St. Martin's in London, so I kind of like to think that I already am a fashion designer. I work for Minette mostly so I can develop some contacts and get a feel for the business end of things.
When do you think you'll be ready to go off on your own?
I don't know.
Heather, my pencil's missing. It was right here and now it's gone. You walked off with it again.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
I'm telling you, it's not here.
Did you check behind your ear?
Oh.
When Minette fires me, that's when I'll go off on my own. And as you just heard, that could be any day now.
Here's that envelope I picked up from JJ. I almost forgot.
No problem.
Well, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Minette! Minette! Hello, Minette! Shh! Minette?